Congratulations. For the first 3 years of your life, your baby brain recorded everything. Every face, every sound, every moment. And then it lost the lot. You don't remember being a baby. Nobody does. Not because the footage was erased, you just lost the remote. Your brain shot a 3-year documentary about you and then lost the only copy. It had its reasons. You weren't doing anything worth keeping anyway. That's the part nobody tells you about infantile amnesia. For over a century, the story was simple. Babies don't form memories. Brain's not built yet, no words, nothing sticks, clean, obvious. And as it turns out, wrong. 100 years of very smart people and not one of them thought to check. A 2025 study out of Yale took that tidy little explanation and dismantled it, and the real answer is so much worse. We're going to get into the actual mechanism, the fake memories your brain invented on your behalf, and the part that surprised even me, which is that you didn't lose those early memories as a baby. You lost them years later, on a schedule nobody bothered to warn you about. So let's start with the study that quietly demolished the old story. This next part will make you smarter. Hopefully. In 2025, researchers at Yale published a study in Science where they scanned awake, conscious babies in an fMRI while showing them images. Sounds simple. It is not. Scanning an awake baby is one of the hardest things you can do in neuroscience. They move, they scream, and they have zero respect for your research budget. Almost every previous infant scan was done while the babies were asleep, which tells you approximately nothing about how memory works. So this team showed up with pacifiers, blankets, stuffed animals, pillows, an entire bribery operation aimed at one very small, very uncooperative person. And it worked. The hippocampus, the part of the brain most responsible for encoding specific memories, lit up. The posterior hippocampus fired for the exact images the babies later recognized, strongest in the ones around a year old or older. The recording was running the whole time. It always was. Every undignified thing you did at 11 months old, filmed, encoded, saved for a screening you will never get. So if the tape was rolling the whole time, why can't you reach a single second of it? That question is where the whole thing cracks open, and the answer comes from a different set of experiments in mice. In 2018, a team including Paul Franklin and Sheena Jocelyn in Toronto tagged the exact brain cells, engram cells, that fired when baby mice learned something. Then, after those mice grew up and forgot what they'd learned, the researchers used light to flip those same cells back on, a technique called optogenetics, and the memory came back. Not a vague echo. The whole thing. So it was never gone. It was just filed somewhere you're not cleared to access. Then in 2023, they went further and showed those lost infant memories could be permanently brought back by updating the engram, basically handing the brain a working search function again. Their words, not mine. Infantile amnesia is a reversible process. The memory isn't deleted. The path to it is broken. Your brain didn't lose the file. It lost the search bar, and it is not sorry. So why does the path break at all? The prime suspect sounds like it should be good news, new brain cells. The infant hippocampus grows so fast, firing out neurons at such a rate that it physically rewires the circuits your memories were sitting in. Great. Now, this mechanism has mostly been mapped out in animals, but the human infant brain goes through the exact same explosion of growth, which is why researchers believe the same thing is happening to us. To you, right on schedule. Picture a file still sitting on the drive. During your first years, your brain was rebuilding the entire filing system around it, renaming every folder, moving every cabinet, while that one file just sat there, untouched and completely unreachable. Nothing was deleted. Nothing knows where to look anymore either. This isn't a tragic loss. It's the worst IT department in recorded history, and it's the one running your head. And there's a second lock on top of that. Memories come back best when the conditions at recall match the conditions when you formed them. Same place, same feeling, same sensory world. But you are never again going to be a 9-month-old lying in a crib, staring up at a spinning mobile, thrilled about a ceiling. That version of you is gone, and he took the passwords with him. The cues that would open those memories don't exist in your adult life. You're not missing the memory, you're missing the key. You handed it to a 9-month-old. Now here's the part that completely reframes the timeline, And it's the one thing in all of this I did not see coming. Neither will you. You didn't lose those early memories as a baby. You lost them around age 7, long after everyone, including you, assumed the coast was clear. A researcher named Patricia Bauer at Emory University followed 83 3-year-olds, each of whom had described recent events in detail. Years later, she checked back. The kids who were 5 to 7 still remembered over 60% of what they'd talked about. By 8 or 9, that had quietly collapsed to somewhere between 36 and 40%. So the forgetting doesn't happen in infancy. It happens in late childhood, out in the open while everyone's watching and nobody notices a thing. Bauer called it childhood amnesia in the making, which is a polite way of saying there's a window where those memories are still alive inside a child, quietly waiting to find out whether anyone cares enough to keep them. For most of yours, the answer turned out to be no. A 7-year-old can outremember their own adult self. Kids and teenagers report earlier first memories than adults do. The older you get, the further your earliest memory backs away from you. It isn't a wall that slams down at age 3. It's a slow erosion that picks up speed around 5 or 6 and never stops. It's happening right now, quietly, while you sit here watching a video about it. Sorry. And the reason those memories vanish is almost insulting in how simple it is. Nobody rehearses them. At 7, kids needed heavy prompting to describe early events. Adults just narrate, unprompted, forever. The memories that survive into adulthood are the ones that got retold at the dinner table, at family gatherings, in the stories your parents wouldn't stop telling about you. The ones nobody talked about quietly faded out of reach. So the memories you're proudest of aren't the important ones. They're just the ones with the best publicist. Which brings us to the single most unsettling thing in this entire video, and I've read the rest of it. You are not ready. There's roughly a 40% chance your earliest memory never happened. Yes, that one. The one you're picturing right now. A survey of over 6,000 people found that about 40% of them placed their first memory at age 2 or younger, and 14% put it at age 1 or younger, ages below the point where a real retrievable memory is even possible. The true average for a genuine first memory is around 3.2 years old. So what are all those people remembering? Nothing. A reconstruction. Your brain grabs a few fragments, a pram, a feeling, a vague emotional smudge, and stitches them together with things you absorbed later. Photos, family stories, whatever people told you about your own babyhood. Then it fills in the gaps itself, with details that feel real because they're plausible. A nappy in the cot, the color of a wall, none of it experienced by you, your brain writing flattering fan fiction and quietly filing it under true. And when researchers told people their earliest memory was probably invented, most of them refused to believe it, especially middle-aged and older adults. Your brain doesn't just quietly make these up. It will look you in the eye and defend them. So if how far back you remember depends on what you're told and what you repeat, why do some people reach so much further back than others? The answer is culture. Maori adults in New Zealand have the earliest first memories on record, on average around 2.5 years old, versus roughly 3.5 for the average American, and later still for East Asian adults. A gap of up to 2 years, decided almost entirely by how much your culture likes to talk. Maori tradition places enormous value on narrating the past, telling children who they are and where they come from, and all that repetition drags the reach of memory further back. Your earliest memory has less to do with your brain than with how chatty the people around you happen to be. Elaine Reese at the University of Otago tracked children for years and found that the kids with more elaborative parents, the ones who talked about the past in detail and asked follow-up questions, grew up to have earlier, richer first memories as teenagers. So how far back you can reach was, to a real degree, set by how talkative your parents felt like being during your childhood. Hope they were in the mood. Even the content is cultural. Across 5 countries, the age childhood amnesia kicks in is basically identical, but the memories themselves aren't. American memories tend to star the individual. I did this, I felt that. East Asian memories lean collective. We went here, our family did this. Same brain, same hardware, wildly different edit. And there's one last layer I find genuinely strange. In one study, toddlers were taught to operate a magic shrinking machine. Months later, they could still physically reenact how it worked, but they could not describe it in words. The words they'd learned since didn't fit the memory because the memory was filed before those words existed. You can't put language to it because there was no language in the room when it happened. It's why people who emigrated young sometimes find they can only reach their earliest memories when prompted in their original childhood language. Switch languages, and you're standing at the right door with the wrong key, wondering why it won't turn. So here's where we land. The question we opened with was why your brain deleted your first few years. The real answer is that it mostly didn't. The recording was running. We can watch the infant hippocampus encoding specific memories on a scanner. Those memories were stored in cells that can still be switched back on decades later, at least in animals. What actually happened is that explosive brain growth scrambled the path to them, and then a slow erosion between 5 and 9 finished the job, because nobody rehearsed them often enough to keep them reachable. And a solid chunk of what you think you remember from back then was quietly rebuilt by your brain out of photos, stories, and confident guessing. It did all of this without asking. It would happily do it again. The tape was never erased. You just lost the remote. And depending on how you were raised, what language you grew up speaking, and how often your family couldn't stop telling stories about you, you might have held on to far more of it than you think, or far less. Your brain knows exactly which, it's just not telling you. If any of that made you even slightly smarter, and the jury is still out, do future you a favor and subscribe. Your brain will almost certainly delete the reminder otherwise. And do this for me. Drop your earliest memory in the comments and how old you think you were when it happened. I want to see how many of you land under that 3-year line. Because if the research is right, a few of those memories were never real. I'm not going to tell you which of you. Genuinely curious what you find, assuming you made it this far. Statistically, a few of you didn't.